Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin from an intraday perspective, the 1 hour chart. I have really not made any changes to the chart. One minor adjustment though, actually, but this doesn't have a major impact. Just moved this A wave low, which I had here, and counted it originally as an extension of this move to the downside as a wave A. I've put it here. It just looks better, and then we can consider this B wave a running flat structure, and that gives me ideal targets now for this C wave to the downside that are slightly adjusted to the ones I showed you in the previous video, which was slightly lower. So I just want to make you aware of that. That means that the price here could reach the 100% extension level at around 61,280. That would be my 100% extension target here on this chart. Let me just double check if that's all correct. Yeah, that's the 100% extension level. And this is just typically a target where a C wave finishes, doesn't have to, but ideally also because it is overlapping, not exactly, but very close to the 61.8K level, which is the 23.6 Fib level. So there is some Fibonacci confluence there in that region. Okay, if we drop any lower, then we have 59,590 and 58,590. No, what's that? Sorry, it's 59,000. Oh yeah, it is 59,900. No, 59,590. Sorry. And 58,590. They are the two next micro support levels. And I mean the main one there, which I've called out throughout the last week already as main support level for this wave 4. And ideal target actually for this wave 4, it's the 38.2 retracement at 55.4K. Obviously, Bitcoin is leading this current decline. I mean, the altcoins are selling off as well, but I would use sort of Bitcoin still as some kind of a guide, So I would not really, I mean, we have to take every chart on its own, but still working against the overall trend is going to be difficult for altcoins if they are deep in support. So as long as Bitcoin hasn't completed this correction, they are probably going to extend their corrections, might even break their individual support areas. Yeah, but that might be different from altcoin to altcoin. A lot of altcoins have a lot of space, in their correction. Bitcoin also still a lot of space. Just Ether makes me worry a bit, but Ether already made me worry when ETH BTC broke below support. So yeah, Ether is disappointing a bit, but Bitcoin is just not doing anything unusual at the moment. It's coming down, has not even reached my support zone there, and nearly we are there. So I would expect it to be reached shortly, and then possibly for the price to give us a bounce from this region here between 61.8 and 61.3K. Now, I would actually like to see a more healthy ABC structure, okay? It's just, that's what I expect also from a risk management point of view. Doesn't have to be the case, but what I want to outline is that this move down could just be the A wave. Then we get a rally in a B wave, and then a C wave down, and the wave 4 will actually sit here. Yeah, and that would be the 55K level, 55.4K. Now, that assumption might be wrong. So I have to say very clearly, after 3 waves down, the correction can of course be over. So it's absolutely possible that after this ABC is complete, this correction is done and we start to go up again. So I will operate under the assumption that the rally might only be a B wave. But if I see clear evidence that we are already completing a 5-wave pattern to the upside, an impulse, and not a correction, well, then the wave 4 was in. I mean, that's what the support zone is for. There's nobody going to stand down there with a bell to ring the bell and say, okay, it's time to buy. I mean, that's the support zone. The price can turn around at one of these Fib levels. Now, it's up to everybody individually then to say, okay, am I happy with that? Do I buy? Hoping, hope is bad, but not hope is not bad, but in financial markets, it doesn't really lead you anywhere. But obviously you don't do it just out of hopium, you do it with Fibonacci levels, and this is a support zone where the price could turn around. So it might be reasonable to add a little bit here and there, nibbling small positions until we have a confirmed trend reversal. But only if we have a confirmed trend reversal, I think it is reasonable really to be more aggressive again on the long side. But then that sort of mixture of, okay, scaling into support carefully to get a good average price, and then knowing that obviously until we have a first impulse to the upside, the price could still go lower, coupled with being more aggressive once we have a confirmed low in place. I think that is sort of the best tactic for most people. But at the moment, the trend is still down. So I'm just now watching this area, because over the last few days, we've been highlighting that the price should get into this region. Now we're nearly there, but only really at the top. And then, I mean, for ETH, it would be good if the way forward complete here, right? For ETH, it would be good, because if you watch the ETH chart, it's already close to invalidating its impulsive upside potential, but it's still holding the ideal way for support. So it could very well be that Bitcoin is only touching the 23.6 fib level, and Ether is at the 38.2 fib already. Again, that's all speculative. What we need to wait for is a clear signal of the market, from the market, and that would be a 5-wave pattern to the upside, obviously, followed by a 3-wave pullback. And that would be a good indication that a low has formed. Okay, so yeah, I think maybe today, tomorrow, I think we could see a bounce from there. It's just something to be aware of. Looking at, for example, the 4-hour time frame, the RSI is now oversold. Yeah, so it is reasonable to at least watch for a bounce from that oversold region. Last time when we were oversold, we had here a bounce from this support region back then. That was in January. So yeah, we might drop a little lower, and it might get a little bit more oversold, and that would all be in line with the overall forecast, right? That we either get a rally in wave 5 from here or just a B wave. But I'd like to see a bounce from this region. 1 hour is already quite substantially oversold, but no bullish divergences yet. That's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.